I'm Ezra Levant. Last week we showed you radical imams teaching their extremism right here in Canada. Well, we only scratched the surface. Terrorism expert Jonathan Halevi is back to tell us about yet another Canadian Muslim leader teaching very un-Canadian ideas. Jonathan, welcome back to the show. You speak not just English and Hebrew, but also Arabic and the Persian language of Farsi. You go online, you find videotape of imams in Canada saying outrageous things. Tell me whose videotape you've brought to us today. What's the imam's name? Where is he from? And then we'll show the clips.
We are talking today about Mazen Abdul Azim. He is based in London, a leader of the Hizb ut-Tahrir here in Canada. His family immigrated from Iraq, and he is based in London, Ontario.
Okay, well, let's go to the video and see who this fella is. I'm going to practice saying his name. Let's go and look.
So this is the problem, that without a khilafah, Islam cannot be implemented. And we individually are obligated to have a bay'ah to a khalifa. So it's required for us to give a bay'ah to a khalifa, but since there's no khilafah, you can't have a khalifa. Therefore, it's a fard upon us to reestablish the khilafah so we can give a bay'ah to a khalifa. And that's why this is a call, not only to the brothers here, and not only brothers who are watching online, everybody who has any capacity of spreading this word all the way to the armies of the Muslims, our brothers and sisters. This word has to reach them. They have to understand that this is the only way forward. It's the only way to achieve the nasr of Allah Azza wa Jal, is to support this deen and this call for khilafah.
He speaks perfect English because he was born here, but I can make out some of the words he's using. Khilafah, that's the Arabic word for caliphate or the Islamic State. I saw the black flag of the Shahada. That is a typical caliphate flag, am I right?
Yes, and it was the flag was placed on the globe, which means this is international, a global Islamic revolution, which means you have to establish the caliphate, and the goal of the caliphate is to bring the Sharia law to the world entirely.
And he mentioned Muslim armies. Does he mean mujahideen?
What he meant exactly is that now this is the next phase in which Hizb ut-Tahrir has just moved after ISIS established the caliphate. They are being under pressure from ISIS. What we are doing in order to support the caliphate, and they said we do not support ISIS, and we moved from the stage of dawah, just propagating Islam and calling for the caliphate. We are now taking action, calling the Arab armies, the Muslim armies, to take action against the Arab state in order to topple the corrupt regime and establish the caliphate.
Huh. Okay, let's watch a couple more videos of the imam himself. So he's based in London, Ontario, and this is a speech he was giving in perfect English with lots of Arabic words in Hamilton. So this is all in Canada, all to young people, and you heard him say to those watching on the internet. Let's watch clip number 2.
And that's what I want to do. I want to present to you the alternative view. The view that says that voting in a secular democratic system, in a system that will not implement Islam, that does not implement Islam, to vote for anybody to become a legislator in such a system is something that Islam forbids. And I'm going to present the evidences for this. What our identity is. We are Muslims, strewn about all across the planet without anybody who represents us. We are Muslims who actually belong to the Khilafah. The Khilafah represents us, and it was destroyed in 1924. We are responsible for working to reestablish it. So that's the first thing. We must work to reestablish the Khilafah.
So he's saying Muslims, in his view, are not really Canadian or the member of any other nation state. They're part of a larger Muslim nation that was destroyed and must be rebuilt, and he's against participating in a democracy. Have I oversimplified his views?
That's what he's saying, and he gave evidence for that, which means Hizb ut-Tahrir does not believe in the democracy.
You're saying Hizb ut-Tahrir, that is a Muslim political party that has mujahideen fighting in places like Syria and Iraq?
I wouldn't say that. They don't have mujahideen fighting. In some cases, there are reports that members of Hizb ut-Tahrir were involved in terrorism, but in general, they think that jihad will be permissible after the caliphate is established and by the orders of the caliph. What he's saying that when the caliphate is established, he's going to pledge allegiance to the caliph, which means his first loyalty would be to the caliphate.
Got it. Thanks for the clarification. Let's watch one more clip from him.
The punishments, cutting the hand of the thief and whipping the fornicator and so on. What do you do in these situations? How does this work? These are last resorts after you've established these systems. You show them that if you do it, the punishment is so severe, it'll stop them from doing it.
Now, where was he giving this speech? He's speaking perfect English. He's based in London. He's talking in Hamilton. Is this at a mosque? Is this at a community center? So he's saying, I see three different places he's spoken. He's saying we should create a caliphate, a theological dictatorship. We should not be Democrats. We should not regard ourselves as citizens of a national country. And when the caliphate comes and Sharia law comes, we'll cut off hands, we'll follow the Sharia law. Who's he telling this to?
That was said in Hizb ut-Tahrir conference in the U.S. in 2014. The issue here is the allegiance. This is the pledge of allegiance to the caliphate. This is the main issue. You know, for Hizb ut-Tahrir, only the caliphate can represent them. And when the caliph would say that now this is time of jihad, they should be committed to the orders of the caliph.
We're almost out of time. I know you've brought two more documents. We only have time to show one. It is the Anti-Remembrance Day document. And I've talked about this before. Put it on the screen and let's talk about it as we look at it. So any Muslim that wears a poppy or recommends wearing a poppy either is unaware of the history of this ummah or they have simply chosen to support their slavers. Now, where is this document from? No Muslim should honor the memory of those war criminals by wearing a poppy, just as no one would honor a criminal that killed his or her mother and father. It goes on, basically disparaging Remembrance Day. Where did he make these statements?
He posted on his official Facebook page.
So this imam, born in Canada, is saying no Muslim should participate in Remembrance Day?
Yes, because it refers to the First World War, in which the caliphate, which is the Ottoman Empire, was destroyed. And that's why we, as Muslims, should remember the soldiers of the caliphate, of the Ottoman Empire, and not the Western
Canadian-born, doesn't identify as Canadian, anti-Remembrance Day, not a Democrat, believes in allegiance to the theocratic caliphate, and looks forward to Sharia law where they cut off hands. Welcome to your extremist Muslim imams in Canada. It's scary, and we only hear about it from you, Jonathan. Thank you for your research. By the way, folks, if you want to see a compendium we're putting together of all these radical imams, go to CanadianJihad.ca. We're going to put all of Jonathan's research together on one page.